Hello friends, today we bring you the story of the film Smile. Although it sounds like a happy movie, it is actually about an evil smile. The story begins with a room where a dead body lies, being observed carefully by a girl. This dead body belongs to her mother, whose room is filled with medicines and addictive substances, as if the woman took her own life due to distress. Along with this horrifying scene, the little girl, who is now grown up, opens her eyes. Her name is Dr. Rose Cotter, a psychiatrist who is treating a student named Laura Weaver at the hospital. Laura had witnessed her professor's suicide a few days ago, and since then, she has not been feeling well. She tells Rose that she sees strange people who give her a frightening smile and tell her she is going to die. When Laura shared all this with people, nobody believed her. Immediately after that, Laura suddenly falls to the floor and starts screaming loudly, seeking help from Rose. But when Rose looks at Laura, she stands there calmly, giving the same terrifying smile. She holds a piece of broken glass in her hand, intending to slit her own throat and take her life. After her death, the police arrive and question Rose about the incident. When Rose returns home from there, she sees Laura, causing a great deal of panic. Her boyfriend Trevor is calming her down, and they both live together. Trevor has taken Rose out for a dinner to meet her sister Hola and her husband, hoping that she will feel better. Hola suggests selling their old house, where their mother committed suicide, but Rose doesn't want that. One day at the hospital, Rose encounters her former patient Carl, who continues to give her a scary smile and shouts that she is going to die soon. In order to calm her down, Rose calls the hospital staff for help, but when they arrive, Carl is seen peacefully sleeping. Seeing Rose's condition, her head, Dr. Morgan Desai, advises her to take a few days off and rest. In the next few days, Rose's hallucinations become more intense, making the people around her feel that she is not getting better but rather becoming more dangerous. As a result, she visits her former therapist, Dr. Madeline Northcott, to explain her condition. Madeline suggests that Rose's trauma of witnessing her mentally ill mother die from an overdose in her childhood has not healed, which is why she is experiencing all these things. After that, Roz is buying a gift for her nephew's birthday. Roz has a cat named Billy who is not showing up, so she is searching for her. But now, unable to find her, Roz has become busy wrapping the gift for her nephew. On the birthday, when Roz's nephew is opening the gift, he gets scared because he finds the same cat, Billy, dead inside the gift wrap. Roz was already in a bad mental state when she was alone, but today, amidst so many people at the party, seeing a girl named Stephanie smile at her in the same way, she is terrified. This frightens her so much that she falls and hurts her hand due to a glass table, and she is taken to the hospital. From this incident, Roz becomes convinced that she is under a curse. However, when Roz tries to explain this to her fiancé copyright, Trevor, he doesn't listen. Just as Laura was not believed earlier, now nobody believes Roz either. Everyone thinks she is sick and behaving strangely, and people now consider her to be crazy. Now, in her attempt to understand things by herself, Roz has discovered that Laura's professor, Victoria, also smiled at herself in the same way before attempting suicide. So, Roz has gone to meet Professor's wife, Victoria, where she learns that the professor had witnessed someone committing suicide some time ago. Roz is checking all the old police records with the help of her ex-boyfriend, Joel, who is a police officer and involved in Laura's case. They discover that all the people who died by suicide had recently witnessed someone else committing suicide. Robert Talley was the only person who took someone else's life instead of his own. And after learning this, Roz becomes convinced that she is also affected by the curse. Therefore, Roz and Joel have come to the jail to meet him. He claims that an evil spirit is causing the trauma, and the only way to escape is to inflict trauma on someone else in front of them, so the spirit goes to them instead. Angry and denying his claims, Roz leaves from there, and here, the spirit is warning Madeline that her death is imminent, which is why she has arrived at the hospital and is attacking Carl with a knife in front of Dr. Morgan. Carl is tearing his face apart, and Roz realizes that this is also a hallucination. Morgan is distressed after witnessing her with a knife and is informing the police about it. Roz has returned to her old house, believing that as long as she remains alone, she will stay alive because the spirit can only reach others through trauma. If she dies, she will be alone, and the curse will end. Roz, now being disturbed by the spirit in the form of her mother, realizes that when she was a child and her mother was dying from an overdose, she had asked Roz to call for help, but Roz did not do so and let her mother die. Roz claims that she was too young to understand at that time. The spirit attacks Roz and throws her on the floor, but Roz manages to defend herself by hitting the spirit with a lamp, causing a fire that indicates Roz has finally freed herself from her childhood trauma. She leaves her house and reaches Joel, asking him if she can stay at his place tonight, to which Joel smiles in a creepy way and assures her that he will always be with her, making Roz realize that she had never left home and had been hallucinating the whole time. Joel is tracking Roz's phone and has reached near her house, but to avoid getting cursed, Roz barricades herself inside. Suddenly, the spirit appears again and shows Roz her true terrifying face, which is skinless and a combination of half human and half demon, resulting from consuming a traumatized human whom she had encountered before. The sight terrifies Roz to the extent that she has a nervous breakdown and becomes paralyzed. In the end, after gaining control of Roz's mind, the spirit enters her body through her mouth, connecting her brain with its own and feeding her trauma. Joel, searching for Roz, breaks down the door, but as soon as he arrives, the spirit sets fire to Roz's body and successfully passes the trauma curse onto Joel. The story ends here. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your views in the comments.